Then they brought in Dusty Rhodes. Well, Dusty Rhodes was finishing up in the he was finishing up in the WWF. He had the Royal Rumble, one of the first Royal Rumbles, and he was doing that Sapphire. Where's my sweet Sapphire? He was doing all that stuff, and he was wearing the polka dots. And what happened was he was finishing that, and in January, when I was back in the States, they gave me a dark match, and it was in like Macon, Georgia, or something like that. And I went in there and I tore up a dark match with one of the enhancement guys, and you know, Dusty had seen the tape, and he said, "Oh, that's great." He said, "I want you to be patient because I want to bring you in, but just need to be patient." So the first guy he brought in was his kid, Dustin, and then he brought in Matt as Big Josh, and then I was the very next guy that he hired, and they had me doing that. They had me doing the thing with the Great American Bash. They had me go in there and I did a rap for the Great American Bash, and they'd filmed it like it was like a rap video and everything, and that was pretty cool. And they were airing it on TV already, and they didn't have me on contract. So the higher ups, the lawyers are going to Jim Herd and the Dust. You need to get these kids on contracts now because this ain't gonna this isn't gonna work. So so they offered us these basic contracts, and I know like Scott Hall and Austin and you know Mark Merrow, the Patriot, and those guys. We all got the same contract at the same time, and they all signed theirs right away in the office. And I said, you know, I took the thing with me. Well, I was living 2 hours away from Atlanta, and they said, so I got back home after that office on Friday, and Magnum TA says, hey, he calls me, leaves a message. He says, hey, there ain't going to be any second chance if you don't sign that contract. That's it. We ain't going to deal anything with it. I had him by the balls, and I didn't even really know it because I was already on TV, so I could ask what I wanted, at that point. And so, like I said, I had the contract with me and didn't sign it. And then I had to go do a rap in the Omni that Sunday. And I ran into Dusty at the hotel, the Ramada in Atlanta. And I said, Dusty, I'm just not impressed with this contract. And he goes, you know what, kid, I'm going to tell you what. Uh, you know, I'm not going to talk to you right now, but when we get to the Omni, then we'll have a conversation about the whole thing. So I said, all right, fine. So he gets me to the Omni, and he puts me in one of these suites where all the people with real big money hang out, gold faucets and everything like that. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I've hit the big time here, haven't I? Wow, And so Dusty comes in and he gives me the whole spiel, and boy, can he talk. So he gives me a whole spiel, and he says, you know what, kid, sometimes, if this doesn't work out, we'll try something else. You see, because sometimes, baby, you just got to trust somebody. And that was my first mistake. I ended up trusting Dusty, and I shouldn't have brought the contract with me. And I'll tell you why. Because I signed it and I handed it over to Dusty. And then I went home that night, and on my telephone was Chief J Strongbow. He says, Vince loves the gimmick. He wants you to start immediately. Give Pat Patterson a call tomorrow morning, because this was a Sunday. And yeah, I called Pat, but it was already too late because I'd already signed the contract for the WCW.